Okay, today's video is all about factoring quadratics, primarily trinomials, when a is equal to 1. And this process that we are going to be learning today will only be able to be done when a is equal to 1. If a is a number greater than 1, we will not be able to follow what we are going to be doing today, and there'll be another method to follow. However, if a is 1, we are going to follow these steps. Now, the standard form of a trinomial is ax squared plus bx plus c. Notice the exponents are in order from greatest to least. X squared, x to the first, no x. And a, b, and c are integers. Factoring polynomials is the reverse process of binomial multiplication, okay, which is what our previous unit. The steps, as I go through the steps, I'm going to work on the first model problem. We're going to factor the following trinomial, x squared plus 7x plus 10. And the first thing that we're going to do is identify a, b, and c of our polynomial. In our case, a is equal to 1, which is good. B is equal to positive 7, and c is equal to positive 10. If b or c were negative, we must include the sign. Our second step, okay, so step number 1 is done. Our second step is to find factors of c that add up to b. Now, what I like to do is create an x, a large x, where I put c on top, b on the bottom. So c is 10 and b is 7. And we're going to place our factors here, and they have to multiply to give us 10, but add up to give us 7. Okay, so they have to multiply to give us c, but add up to give us b. And I made two notations here. If c is positive, both factor signs will be the same. So they're either going to be both negative, because a negative times a negative is a positive, or positive, which positive times a positive is also a positive. If c is negative, the factor signs will be different, and the larger factor will take the sign of b. So b will help you in both cases. So if you look at b here, b is positive. Since c is positive and b is positive, both our signs are going to be positive. If c was positive and b was negative, both our signs would be negative. So always look at b as a helpful hint for both methods, whether c is positive or c is negative. So now my factors of 10 always start off with 1. 1 times what number? 1 times 10, 1 times itself. And then start off with 2, 3, 4, and keep on going until you run out of factors. So 2 times 5 is 10, and that's it, because the numbers in between 2 and 5 are 3 and 4, and they do not go into 10. Now, since b is positive, both of my signs are going to be positive, and which one adds up to equal 7? 1 and 10 add up to 11. 2 and 5 add up to 7, so 2 and 5 are my factors that both multiply to give you 10, 2 times 5 is 10, and add up to give you 7, 2 plus 5 is 7. So step number 2 is done. My last step, which I'm going to do, is create the two binomials. So you're going to create your double set of parentheses, okay, double set of parentheses, and your first term in each binomial is going to be the factors of x squared, because the only way when we multiply, remember binomial multiplication, when we multiply, x times x gives us x squared. So whatever that variable is, that is going to be the factored of that variable in the first position of each binomial. Then you're just going to pick up each factor and place them in the second position of each binomial. And you can distribute and distribute and multiply to see if you get back your x squared plus 7x plus 10, which we do. X times x is x squared. We have 5x, 2x, and then 10. So 5 plus 2 is 7. So we have 7x plus 10. So it does work, and this is our final answer. And the next trinomial example is when c is negative, so a is 1, b is 8, and c is negative 9. Factors of negative 9 that add up to 8. Factors of negative 9 are 1 and 9, 3 and 3. B is positive, so larger factor is going to be positive, the other one's going to be negative. Adds up, we get negative 1 and 9. So x minus 1 and x plus 9. Try the check for understanding. You end up with your answer of x plus